going to go flip burgers at McDonald's, or do paper routes, or babysitting. That's first of all chump change, and second of all, that's not passive income. That's just hard work. Teach them to work smart, not hard. Teach them this stuff so that they can make money passively. And then you got workmates, you've got your boss, your co-owners if you're a business owner, whatever. So find somebody, a spouse, think of someone who you're going to change their lives with this content. And I also invite you to really stick it out all the way to the end, pay super close attention, because I'm going to give all you guys an awesome free benefit, which is a free copy, digital copy, of one of my books. You get to choose which one. You might want to choose The Art of SEO, because that's the beast. Third edition came out about a year ago. Or if you don't have that much attention span, social e-commerce is only like under 300 pages. That's all about leveraging social media to drive online sales. Or if you have like almost zero attention span, this is a 72-page book. Google Power Search is all about how to be a power user of Google, find anything. It's not an SEO book, but SEOs find it really helpful. Like I've found confidential business plans and marketing plans, Forrester research reports that cost thousands of dollars, and like even credit card files, like numbers and expiration dates and names on Google, just by knowing what to search for. I didn't do anything with it, and I didn't teach anybody how to do that in the book, but just case in point, you can find anything in Google. All right, so that's my give for you guys, and now we're going to dig into how to self-audit your site. So you guys got your laptops open. I asked that you set up a Google Search Console access, or verify your site owner. Who has done that? Okay, who has not? Okay, so all you guys who just raised your hand, you're out. No, maybe we'll figure out what to do with you guys later. Okay, so for those of you who did, which are more than half, I think, thank you. And you'll get tools and see some of the stuff that we're talking about. So anyways, let's dig in. So this is how to self-audit your own website. And so there are 3 pillars to SEO, and that's the wrong deck. No, that's the right deck. Okay. So here's the thing.
It's someone else's deck. I knew it.
Yeah, so yeah, it's somebody else's deck. Masterclass before you guys got here. So here's the thing. You don't necessarily have the budget or the resources necessarily to hire an SEO expert to audit your website. So you need to do it yourself. I've been fixing websites for years for companies like Chanel, all sorts of brands, but also small startups too. And so take my knowledge and you can do this yourself. So you need to know where to focus your energy. Best practices in SEO that everybody says, oh, you need to optimize your meta descriptions and this, that, and the other thing. And spending time on that when there are bigger fish to fry. Descriptions, that's great. I'm not saying don't do it, I'm saying put it in order of priority, and some things are never going to have enough impact that they're worth doing. Right, so the way Tony Robbins describes it, it's like being outcome focused. You have a whole bunch of arrows in your quiver, and so you're aiming for that bullseye, that target. If you can reach that goal, that target, with just 3 arrows, 3 massive actions, why would you work through all the rest of the to-dos, all the rest of those arrows? Move on to another bigger, more hairy, audacious goal, and a whole new set of arrows. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, so I don't need to explain why you need to do your own SEO audit, because we're actually going to have a look at some of your guys' sites. I'll get some volunteers. I'll gently tear you to shreds and give you some helpful feedback. So you'll be able to see how this applies in the real world. It's not just kind of theoretical learning. So we're going to cover the three areas, three pillars of SEO, which are technical / architecture, content, and links. Those are the three pillars of SEO, and our self-audit is going to go into those three areas. We're going to start with the technical audit. So there's some really geeky stuff here, so stay with me. We're going to pull up some tools and things because we're going to need to do that. If, by the way, the XML redirects. You probably aren't familiar with. Because TX indexed except for your home page. I actually had a call blown. On there. It should be an entire site. You've got hundreds. How do I to the home page? Every page should have its own to the top of the list. Thank you. Well, let's take questions. Canonical tag looks like it's going to feel like I'm speaking Greek.
But realize our
podcast called the Optimized Geek.
There you go.
We're in the right place. Okay, so we're going to look at some of these different things, like the canonical tags and optimizing our URLs and all that. So we'll start with the navigation structure. This is a really simple concept. You have your home page, you have all these secondary level pages, you have tertiary level pages, you have quaternary level pages. How many clicks deep down in the site tree matters. If you are trying to optimize a page that is one click deep, one click away from the home page, you're going to be in pretty good shape. If it's 5 clicks deep, you're going to suck. That page is not going to rank very well. You're not setting yourself up for success. If you have a huge website, if you're webmd.com, then you can't have everything at the secondary or tertiary level. You do have pages that are super deep down the site, but then you're going to have to start getting deep links from other people's websites to individual articles, category pages, disease pages, symptom pages, all that sort of stuff. So have as few clicks as possible from the home page to guarantee the best chance of success for the pages that really matter. Right? You've probably seen e-commerce sites where they have featured products. Why do they have these featured products? Why are they featured? Well, they're probably not just bestsellers. They're pages they want to rank well in Google. They're going after keywords that are super valuable to them, and so they want to give those pages the best shot possible for ranking. Pretty simple. Okay, so what if you have a really heavy page with a ton of links on it? Well, each of these links is like you are voting for yourself. Okay, so you're voting for yourself by linking to a page. If it's a featured product, you're giving yourself a good shot at ranking that page in Google. But what if you have 1,000 links on that page? You kind of screwed yourself over. So you need to work in moderation in terms of how many links are contained on a page. no more than a couple hundred, ideally. If you got like 500 links, that's too many, because each link is getting just a sliver of the voting power of the juice that the authority that your homepage has, right? So you're passing authority, importance. It's called PageRank, named after Larry Page, one word, PageRank. You're passing PageRank to pages that you're linking to from that homepage, and if you have 1,000 links on there, you're really spreading yourself thin. Analytics is really important, but we don't want to be driving a car simply looking in the rearview mirror and trying to drive on a freeway. We will crash fast. So we need to have predictive analytics that tell us what is not just happened in the past, but what's about to happen, what's likely to happen, based on activities, actions that we're taking. So if we have optimized the title tag on a huge swath of pages on our site, we want to see if that's having an impact before the next month's report or whatever, or before the results start trickling in from Google Analytics. So you could start by looking at Google Analytics, and it's going to tell you if, let's say, you had a big traffic drop in organic search, there probably is some sort of problem. Maybe you got penalized. But simply looking at Google Analytics alone is not the right thing to do. You need to start looking at other tools like Google Search Console. And Google Search Console will tell you things like what keywords people are typing in to Google and finding your site and not even clicking. Does that blow your mind? Isn't that awesome? Think about that for a moment. So you can tell if people are typing in a keyword, seeing your search results, and saying, I don't want to go there. So you're not seeing the traffic come in. It's not showing up in your Google Analytics, but it's showing up in your Search Analytics report in Google Search Console. Does that make sense? Right? So we're able to see impressions on the search results that are not driving clicks. We can also see the clicks, but we can see the impressions too, and then we get the click-through rate, which is the clicks over the impressions. Yeah?
Can you see that for competitor sites?
You cannot see that for competitor sites. Not with Search Console. Google Search Console is only for verified site owners. You can get kind of an idea around the click-through rates and the keywords that your competitors are ranking for, and estimated traffic volumes using competitive intelligence tools like SimilarWeb, Compete.com. I like SimilarWeb the best. There's also Compete.com. There's Quantcast. Alexa.com is a joke that's owned by Amazon, and you'd think that it was a really cool tool, but the data is it's really bad. It's just bad data. Don't trust it. So SimilarWeb is probably the best. Compete.com is, I'd say, second. So Google Search Console is your new best friend for SEO. It's going to give you a lot of insight. There are a lot of tools in there and reports, and I just mentioned one of them being that Search Analytics report. So another thing that you can do that's just very simple, it's right available in the Google search box, is simply to type in site : and then your domain name. So let's get a volunteer. Okay, yeah.
RTJ.
RTJ.
CPA.
CPA.com. RTA or
RTJ.
RTJ. Okay, I did get it right. You only have 11 pages in Google. According to this Google search, which is completely accurate when we're talking about just a small website, right? If we're talking about thousands and thousands of pages, I can only go to like 700 and some search results, and then it's going to stop me. I can't go any further in Google. You have 11 results. That's all that's being shown. It's essentially like, think of each web page that's in Google as a virtual salesperson. If you have 11 virtual salespeople, it's really hard to compete against sites that have 5,000 virtual salespeople, 5,000 pages to them. Now, let's contrast this with my personal blog, stephanspencer.com.
So this doesn't work on...
Works on any site.
Except for mobile.
It doesn't show the number of results on mobile search. Yeah,
There's no way to see it? No.
I don't scroll down to the bottom and see if there's an option. I'm never using my mobile device to do SEO.
So I'm looking at the bottom, like I just did metal, and it just says next. How do you know how many pages are totally there?
Well,
Very
if
top.
you change your, if you go into your settings, okay, so see this little icon, the gear icon? You click on that, you go to search settings, you can change it to 100 results per page. You have to turn off Google Instant in order to do that. So you turn off Google Instant, and then you switch the slider to 100 results per page like I did. And then you can see 100 results per page. And then what you do is you go to the last page of results, and you can see that, okay, so I've got 234 results, but then I can click on this link at the very bottom that says, in order to show you blah, 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 blah. Basically, some results were omitted because they were considered specific content. Specific content is SEO's bane of existence. We don't want to get caught in the duplicate content filter. It's not a penalty, so don't panic, but it might feel like a penalty because if you have duplicate content with other sites, you've syndicated your article to a bunch of other places, you wrote it and posted to your blog, but you also posted it to the Huffington Post, and the Huffington Post is the one that's winning. You're getting filtered out, so they're getting all the traffic from that great article that you contributed, and none of it's going to your blog. So you got to think about, like, am I creating duplicate content either inadvertently or strategically by syndication deals or you're writing for other media outlets?
So, for this search that you did, can you not look at the very top where it says, about X number of results?
No, when it says about X number of results, that's a mythical number. It's a mythical number because Google engineers only care about stuff that Google searchers care about. If Google searchers don't care about the quality of what's on page 3, they don't care either at Google. If Google searchers don't care whether the estimated number of results is accurate or not, maybe it's an order of magnitude off, do you care when you're doing a search? No, you don't even look. If it's 3 million or 30 million, so what? So they don't care about the accuracy. Us SEOs, we deeply care, but it's not accurate. And so when it said about, what did it say? 26. It's like, wait a second, it's only taking me to page 3 of the search results. What the heck? There should be 7 pages of search results, because that's as far as you get with Google at 100 results per page. Nope, 3 pages, that's it. And there's the true number, 234. Now I'm going to add in the omitted results, which add those back in. And now let's see if we go to the last page of the results. It's 238. So I only had 4 pages of duplicate.
Sorry guys, I'm just trying to set this up so it looks a little better. Because right now I got Lloyd's computer and all I get is baby names. That's all I can see from Lloyd right now when he's searching is baby names.
That's funny. Okay, so what was my point in all this? SEO. You just can't compete going after. Can you go after with have a few auxiliary keywords, the singular on one. Google's smarter than that these days. However, you're not going to rank for hundreds of keywords with just one page. So an 11-page website at best is going to get you a sliver of traffic compared to what you could be getting if you had 100 pages or 200 pages or 300 pages. Okay, so let's go back to the PowerPoint. there's a report inside of Google Search Console called the crawl report and a crawl error report, and you're going to be able to see if there are 404 errors. Who's heard of a 404 error? Yeah, we all have. 404 errors are bad for you in terms of Google and your SEO. Because if people are linking to 404 errors, any page rank, any of that voting power that is pointing to those 404 pages just dissipates. It evaporates. It's not available for the rest of your site. You want to fix those 404 errors. Now, cpa.com/blah blah blah, that should return a 404 error and a custom 404 page. That's correct. But you're probably finding that there's some error pages that, for whatever reason, maybe you moved things around, you switched platforms, now you're in WordPress, but before you were in TypePad, or whatever, right? So there are going to be 404 errors that you can fix, and you can see when you click on this tab here of not found, that's the 404s, and you can scan through that list. There's a tab there for you to see. See, here's the tab for not found. If you click on one of these URLs in here, you can see where you're getting links from. It might be just internal. You are linking to that page yourself. Or it could be that there are people linking to you and you're wasting that voting power, that link juice is going to waste.
Now, will this also be links coming from Twitter or social media?
No, that's a great question. So if you got links pointing to you from Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, Wikipedia, Flickr, any social site, they've all no-followed their links that are external links, meaning no page rank for you.
For that.
Yeah, for that link. I'm not saying don't do social media marketing. Just don't expect to get juice directly from those social media links.
Permanent links is what you're saying.
What's that?
Permanent links are what's important.
Well, links that pass page rank. That's what they're called.
What about Google Plus though? Because there was always this talk about
No. Google Plus, any link that's no follow doesn't count.
and they no follow Google Plus. Their own.
Any social site has figured out that if they don't no follow, they're going to get spammed to hell. Pinterest for a while took the high road and said, we're going to pass page rank. And they got spammed to hell, and then they joined the crowd as well. So you just, you can easily check with a plugin, a browser extension, that will show you which links are no followed in red. Or you just view source, you view the HTML source, and you look for you do a find in the HTML for no follow, and see if or for your link, and see if it's no follow.
But what is it, just to define, what does no follow mean?
It's an attribute to the HTML tag where the ahref, where you basically it's a link, right? ahref equals and then the URL, and then there's an attribute that's rel equals no follow. So you're looking for that no follow in the link's HTML code, and if it's present, then Google ignores that link.
So I get to do this, right? Because I'm going to be the dumb blonde. Why would somebody want to put that in there?
Well, I have no follow links all over the place because I don't want spammers. Then they would want to do that all day long. So that's a big problem. Why do people want to still get their links into social media, like Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest and all that? Because it's an indirect benefit. What will happen is if you have influencers, the linkerati, who are watching those channels, those accounts on social media, and they see your stuff and they're like, wow, that's cool, and then they blog about it, now you get a link that counts. So it's a way to seed remarkable content. When I say remarkable, I mean like worth remarking about content. It doesn't have to be the funniest, most hilarious, viral thing out there, but it has to have something about it that's worth remarking about. You see that into social media from power user accounts, from authoritative, influential accounts, and that will hopefully spread. have authority in the eyes of Google.
So something, let's go back to Ricky, who mentioned his CPA site.
Yeah.
There's really nothing linkable on his site because it's more of a static page that's marketing his business. So you would have to have something that is linkable, being a story or a tip or trick,
Yeah.
to allow him to have external access.
Yeah, so any page is linkable in that, if I really liked you and I want to help you out, I'll link to you from my site. But Google knows that, when you have a commercial relationship or a friendship, it's not a link earned by merit. Google is so good at being able to sniff those out and discount those links. So it really should be a link earned by merit. And how are you going to get a meritoriously earned link? By having remarkable content that adds massive value to the readers, to the users, to the viewers if you're doing videos. Yeah.
So your no follow point. I had an SEO person contact me asking me to make a link about their customer, a no follow link, because the blog post was disfavorable to them, but it had a higher page rank because of all the content was originally vertical. And I said no.
Yeah.
Because what they wanted to do was de-emphasize the negative story and also allow something else to move up. Is that ethical?
Well, this is just, I don't know that it's not ethical. People request that links be removed or no follow all the time for various reasons. There are a lot of low quality links that point to our various websites, and we can't help it. People are trying to damage our reputation in the eyes of Google by buying links for us, which is against Google guidelines. So they'll try and ruin your reputation in Google because you're a competitor. They'll spend $100 buying links out of some foreign country, low quality links in very bad neighborhoods online, and then now your reputation is sullied by this competitor. So outreaching to the webmasters and saying, hey, can you remove that link, is something that happens all the time.
But I want to go back again to sites like service-based, back to Ricky, or to Laundry, doing a training site, where he's getting people physically healthy. Or I know you do blogs, so it's different for Fred. But if they're doing service-based sites that's more of a marketing site,
Yep.
they need to do something that is adding value to the site beyond the marketing approach, right?
Absolutely.
And that's articles.
Yeah, so it could be articles, it could be infographics, it could be personality test quizzes, it could be checklists or cheat sheets or worksheets, buyer's guides, how-tos, it could be any number of things, viral videos. You can get ideas by going to BuzzFeed. You can actually use that site colon search that I showed you just a few minutes ago. Do site colon BuzzFeed.com, which has it just blows my mind, over $1 billion valuation. It's a viral site, viral news site with over $1 billion valuation.
Yeah, on there, you think so?
From my phone, so I can't. The reason the way I'm streaming with the Mevo is using the Mevo app.
Yeah.
Because I cannot afford all the distraction. Out of tonight, freaking just lose all the distractions. Because the deep work that you need to be doing, we're doing all shallow work.
Yeah.
As knowledge workers, we're spending most of our time in email, and it's just, we could be replaced by robots. It's the stupidest stuff that we're spending our time on.
But still look at YouPorn once a day, okay?
Do not look at you more.
As a social media person, I gotta disagree, but we'll talk later.
Well, I'm on social media all the time, but it's not me. It's not me. I have a team of people, and the stuff goes through me, but I'm not on there like doing stuff. Like if I need to post a Facebook Live and I don't have my Mevo, yeah, I'll briefly install the Facebook app. I'll do my live stream.
Just turn off the alerts.
It's not just about the alerts. It's about like you're in line and you're like, oh, I got time. I'm just waiting for in the checkout, and you just get this addiction. You start feeling like you.
Sounds like you need a support group on this, but that's okay. Well, let's move beyond this. So right now, again, something remarkable is you go to BuzzFeed and you're saying we can take stuff off of BuzzFeed, or are we augmenting
Ideas,
stuff?
just ideas. So let's put in, for an idea, accounting. So let's look for ideas of articles and personality tests and things. You've seen BuzzFeed all over on Facebook with things like, what city should you actually live in, right? And you take the test because you're curious. Because they use the words actually, which presupposes that you should be living in a different city than you actually are. So, if I want to start thinking pieces that will get me a lot of links. Now remember, just having that great content isn't enough. Ricky. It's been a couple of days since I've been to Ricky's blog or his website. I should go check out what he's got there. No, nobody does that. So we have to seed that stuff into social media. We need to get it out there, because otherwise it's just going to sit there and brainstorming to get the remarkable content ideas that will then take a different spin on it. Okay, so accounting, we could do.
Well, give me an example. Fred, how many articles a week do you post?
Oh, probably less than one. I'm writing it.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah.
But you then seed it everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I did the site search and I
Value by making sure he has one fresh article every week. And it's seeded everywhere. So he's conscious of it.
Really kind of a boring keyword. So let's come up with something that's related to what you do, but is, how about tax return?
tax evasion.
We can do a tax evasion as well, yeah.
Tax shelters.
Okay, we're going to subtract Trump from this because that's.
You see what he just did? He used the minus sign in the word Trump, and now all that has removed the word Trump from all the searches. See that?
Put it
Oh, yeah, let's zoom in.
because that's buzzing right now. Like his tax.
Yeah, so so that's called newsjacking, where you take a or a trending topic and you whatever, right? So that's a very valid thing to do. I probably wouldn't do that with Trump right now.
Right.
Because, yeah. So let's look for things that are not Trump related and
The USA. I just want.
you can do some negatives. Like do a custom time range and stuff. UK or not the UK, unless in the .com/UK is the UK site, or uk.buzzfeed.com. Then I could subtract that, but I word UK, I could just do minus UK. But then you get the idea here, right? So we're going to dig in here for ideas to Imgur.
Yes, for images.
Yeah, so let me show you what Imgur is. There are a lot of viral images on this site, and there are some other mgur.com. So we could do a search and say, well,
Is there?
we'll find.
When's
We'll
accounting
find
day?
some.
I want to know when accounting day is.
It's like Boxing Day.
You can make it a holiday.
Where is this live?
.com/Stephan Spencer. Here's one, finally. Something funny about accounting. I love accounting. It makes people cry.
That's awesome.
Right, so you got to find this stuff. And imagine if you were to write an article like 10 tips you need to know about filing your tax return, and that's genius, right? So now there's something for people to pin if they're using Pinterest. Because if you have no images, there's nothing for them to pin. That's viral and funny, and they'll just share it, and it'll or that
You do that.
whatever it is, illustration.
You do that,
or
right? Do you put an image on
comic
your
or
articles?
whatever.
Do you do an image on your articles?
It's called duplicate content, but the text is what we care about, right? If we have duplicate text, compromised position, because if another site has more authority, more page rank than us, it will go up for that search.
Or download it and put your own alt text in it, to improve the rank.
Yeah, so I don't want to get too in the weeds on this. If you believe you have or it's a Creative Commons licensed image, then you can download it, you could modify it, you could then use that image, and it's different from all the others that are out there.
Right.
That's ideal. But what if you don't have permission? And the best, when we're talking about viral memes, the SEO advantage is when you entire article more about, saving nearly as much as if he's got that funny grumpy.
Make sure Stephan talks about last week's index.
I'm sure that's what he's talking about. Sources that are great for, you got to think outside the box, right? YouTube and curators. Awesome search engine. I do. Okay, in the U.S. Find stuff. I want to be top that's awesome. You created a blog post on accounting, but it's the it's so simple. Commercial. You just call it the 10 funniest. Nobody's going to call you on it and say, "Hey, where's the one on?" Herding one needs to be in the top 10. There is a very funny cat herding. I think EDT. It's awesome. So you find these. You just make a little collection. You do what's called a listicle. A listicle is like a top 10 list, but it doesn't have to be 10. It could be 7. It could be 13. It could be 37. This is really funny. I mean, if we had audio, I mean.
All right, there we go.
What? You know, it's my,
I'm just gonna let you know.
it's my daughter's cat, and I.
Sure, there you go. Now you can move it from the.
Secondary, tertiary.
It's a friend's cat. I'm watching.
Yeah, right. Of curation. If you look at BuzzFeed and you say, well, how do I create something that's type of articles? 18 things, 17 things, 32 things, 5. Everything's a number. Why is that? Why is that? Because it works. It gets the clicks. It gets the engagement. There's a great study done by Conductor, and it's written up on a Moz.com article, 5 data insights into the headlines that readers click. Let me. This graph. 36% reader preferences on number-based headlines. Addressing headlines, using you or your in the headline. You could do both. I recommend that. But if you aren't starting with a number, you've already, taken a big hit. Based headlines, 11%. Ouch. So if you are writing your headlines, your blog post titles as questions, you suck. And you didn't even know it. Okay, so curation, we're good with that? You guys get the gist of this? You're going to use tools like good YouTube searches, finding funny. Let's see. What would be another funny accounting thing? I'm sure we could find it. I'm sure we. A little bit of my brain to work on that problem while we're going ahead.
Just to clarify a couple things. I've used Huffington Post to drive traffic a lot with the count on Huffington Post. Drive traffic to different companies I've run. Different companies I've run. I never worried about whether we had duplicate content because what I wanted was face recognition for our small company. So why, if you're that much smaller and they're that much bigger, why would you even think about trying to do it?
Well, you need to think about these problems of, is this duplicate content? Because there. So here's what I do. I write for the Huffington Post. I have a column, and by the way, HuffPo made a recent change where it's a direct publish platform now, and those pages, those articles you write, don't even make it into Google anymore. Wow. So it's a complete freaking waste of time to write for HuffPo. Don't do it. Just I've stopped writing for them, and this was a recent change within the last month, and that totally sucks.
Why? What was the issue?
Why? I don't know. Maybe they're lazy. I have no idea. But it is lazy.
Verizon.
What's that?
They're owned by Verizon.
They're owned by Verizon, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Ariana has left. She's I wrote, and I decided that I was not going to. Okay, so this is an important concept. This is really valuable. Let's take this away. I started writing a post for social media, for Facebook in particular. I found this great video of Jonathan Fields, the Good Life Project guy. Who's heard of the Good Life Project? Great. So touching, so powerful. I need to share this, but it's a YouTube video. Facebook hates YouTube. If I post a YouTube video, it's going to just get buried. What am I doing? I had this like 3 paragraphs and it was really compelling, but it's a YouTube video to Facebook natively, which if it was my own video, really valuable post that I'm writing. I'm 3 paragraphs in. I could right? So I did. So you'd find instead of HuffPo now that they made this change. And then after it
One of us get a ability to write inside life hack or one of these.
yeah,
sites?
it's you find the page that and you fill out the form.
Or what's it take to get approved?
Articles. Like if you've written nothing online, you look like you suck. So and be an authority.
Well, let's just say you haven't, but you posted stuff on Facebook. An article you wrote on Facebook, or should you make it a Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook owns. Yeah, so the way that you'd approve it is you'd post that stuff on your blog.
Well, what
so
if
then
you don't
point
have
to
a
it.
blog?
Start a freaking blog. It takes like that, you know, yourname.com. So it's an extra 15. You're better off self-hosting. Host or whatever.
What do you use, Andy? Because you've been.
Yeah, type. .com, like a subdomain. Yeah, that I find it very. I bet I've had clients who needed to migrate. To leave. Yeah. That email address, you're screwed. So what I would do is I would take a nice looking theme and take posting them as there's business to community. See, you can. These are great opportunities, but you get. And it was going to go.
And have the authority of that website name
Yes.
to validate you.
The Facebook post I did end up posting. So now, when you look at that post, check this.
Picture.
Look at that. 1,500 likes. And you know my own Facebook? Pushed it out and I how this works. So you're ultimate end game here is you're going to get links. If you have 11 pages, that's 11 pages.
and using that as a link back to his own, saying there's more information.
Have a look to see if links that you've included in your bio, they're now following not doing direct to publish. They had a editorial you added to your post and like, do you have a commercial relationship? They would let it go after I, do those links. Because if they then all the spammers come and they're just dropping their and HuffPo and none of these other media sites want that. So we got to keep going here.
I don't think we all got it the first time.
Okay. With or you on there's a I regularly pitch to get on TV. Just a little sidebar here. Create and if you have a compelling pitch, it's timely and it's local. It was good morning. It was local because my segment and I timely hook was. Yeah. Right? So now I got some great content for my media page, for there are people watching.
It doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter. Because when you go to my site, I'm the authority and I'm a celebrity. It's different, like, oh, is get on TV, not just radio.
Arlington Fair Show, those things rank really high.
Like podcast movement, and I get on other people's shows, and so you'll create that celebrity status for yourself. So you probably need help on how to do it. I got first my pitch so that when I'm on the phone with the TV producer, particular topic.
Stephan, I know you can go hours in this.
I could.
I think I just got mass to these sites that are really going to get that way of understanding. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
$5 minutes or 10
You got
minutes?
20 minutes if you want.
Let's go to engage with you guys and answer questions and stuff, but then I can
Holy shit.
I want their question.
I want you competitors who are crushing it. So yes, you need to look at your own, and that's what this the self-audit. Because you're going to get all sorts of insight into remarkable opportunities like partnerships. Let's take another volunteer. Give me a site.
MYOU. It's education.
Education.
And positive behavior, right?
I'm probably going to have to coach you on this.
Well, what I don't. There.
And I'm going to coach you on this because I think that determine that is the case. I'm going to use a tool called Majestic. Majestic gives you some data for free, but it is a paid tool, so you probably want to get a paid account for it. So we're going to use Class Dojo. Is it .com? I forgot.
Yes.
Here for a moment. Yeah, this is not fantastic, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. That I most care about right now, just to see who I can, like what they're doing. Trust flow 25, this is on a logarithmic scale. So between 0 and 100, 25 is logarithmic nature of this metric. The Richter scale is another log. It's very different from a 7, but go from a 7 to an 8, and it's like world-changing then, right?
So what's your goal? What's a good number to have?
We want somebody who's like maybe over 40 or something. That would be ideal. Like which is great for a personal blog. It's pretty impressive, but I'm kind of in the space. Site, because I really want to find somebody who's crushing it. So
right there.
no, I'm going to still use you type of search and see who's really ranking high. ed.gov. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, they're a magazine.
They're a magazine. Why they actually don't have to try. They're totally outranking you because they have so much authority.
Yeah.
Now we got a great competitor to analyze. So let's we'll see though. 67. Boom! Okay, now now we're going somewhere. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at their backlinks. So I click on this backlinks tab here. And you could use, instead of Majestic, if you prefer to use Ahrefs or, let's see, some of the tools will Open Site Explorer from Moz. That's definitely a favorite of mine. So, educationworld.com, we got some links pointing. Fodor's had links to Education World. Time and a couple months later it disappeared. Here's a nasa.gov link. How can we get a nasa.gov link? They got one related to a scavenger hunt that the Education World put on. Right, so here we start to get ideas for remarkable campaigns as well. Right? Educators involved, maybe we hide in the online world, we hide some clues in the real world, we do some clues and stuff. You can
And what's cool is this. So you're just kind of
trending topic. It's past. Isn't that cool? So here, teacher. So that you can work in your market. Was that massive enough? Yeah. Or a analysis. SEMrush is another. Of this, they're I have all of the accounts. Yeah, and there's one chapter in here. If you only read one chapter, it's chapter 7 on content marketing. Create remarkable content, how to seed it into social media. All votes, every page of your site. Listicles, personality test quizzes. Your accounting site on right? I just made that shit up. I mean, that's how good I am. Yes, you don't have to take the test.
great. Yeah, it always comes. Yeah. All right, that's cool.
And
Okay.
so where would you put that? You put that on this site?
Yeah, you're gonna. The best place to put it is on your blog because that gives you so much creative freedom. If you have a blog on your site, there's a bunch of free ones out there. I've created one that's available. Quiz plugin, so you could use that for your personality tests. Personality tests like. Like which superhero are you? Batman, Superman, Robin. What?
He didn't really go to Comic-Con.
Let's say favorite color is black. What's your favorite animal? And then
It's so bullshit.
but you gotta think. No, my. Oh, like, what are the attributes? What are the attributes of these 5 personality types?
Got it.
Right. So, your favorite color. The multiple choice answers, so they don't see the. For a My sidekick is like, you know, it's just like, oh, wait a second. You see the pattern as the person taking the test, but you fill it out with that pattern because plugin.
Where do you find this? I can't seem to locate it.
So this is on netconcepts.com. It's netconcepts.com/WordPress-quiz-plugin.
Say it again.
WordPress.com/.
No, netconcepts.com -plugin.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The thing I'm missing is the link is, he's created all this content now. It's out on his accounting website. How do they actually get anyone to read it? What's the best way?
Yeah.
Because that's part of how do we actually
To me, and you signed up for whatever, right? So now there's a looking at your content, and then hopefully you're getting in both places, yeah. But the place that I'm most caring about right now, because I don't have any authority, industry site that has high metrics, if we look at Majestic or Moz Open Site Explorer or something, right? So that's part of the equation. Another part of it is we're going to do outreach. We're going to outreach to influencers. Now, I have some influencers in my hip pocket that I just pay to post stuff.
Well, that's the question. Can you find people?
Yeah, you can find that. It's hard. It's really hard. You're going to have to network your butt off, go to conferences and so forth. Somebody who has massive authority, like if you were to
In
punch
social media or
in Google. I mean, ideally, yeah, they have it in social media too, but I mostly want somebody who's really powerful in the blogosphere. If they are powerful with high clout scores and all that too, great. But ideally, the best kind of influencer is one who is powerful in both. And then when I seed it through that power user, like let's say they have a powerful account on Reddit. Who knows about Reddit? Okay, who has an actual account on Reddit? Okay, so on Reddit, you have this metric called link karma. Who has a link karma score over 10,000? Anyone? Okay, so without decent link karma, you're not going to hit the front page of Reddit. And you need to hit the front page of Reddit. I have a power user who is employed by me, and she built up an account from scratch for me on Reddit, and within 3 months, not only had it got over to 30,000 link karma points, she hit the front page with that account in the process 4 times. Boom.
So my question is, so these people, I think you call them what did you call them?
The linkerati.
Linkeratis.
Yes.
Are those people for sale?
It's difficult. I mean, if they were to put that out there, that would be really bad for them. And I don't actually buy links. That's against Google's guidelines. What I'm saying is that if you get a power user, like somebody who's a powerful, influential person on Reddit, like I'm a powerful, influential person on Reddit, I don't pay my power user to post it from her account. I said, I want to be a power user. Make me an account that is powerful. So she's in the Century Club, meaning she has over 100,000 link karma points, but she's not seeding my stuff from her account. I have a powerful account. So that's the ideal. And then you want to be like just so virtuous and giving and value added on these sites. Like on Reddit, they you sort of flog your stuff.
But I think the question really is, since we don't have time to do the wizardry that you're doing,
Yeah.
how do we find these influential individuals and how do we unite with them?
Yeah, you're going to use some tools. Let me show you a couple. This will blow your mind as well. There's a tool called Follower Wonk. Who's heard of it? FollowerWonk.com. This is a great tool.
Awesome.
It's from the guys at Moz, or actually they acquired the site, but Yeah, so let's log in. And that's my client. Actually, I accidentally logged in with my client account. I didn't want you guys to see my password, so I just picked the first one. Okay, so I'm logged in. Now check this out. Search bio. So let's say that I'm looking for a journalist in education. Okay, so let's, what type of education? Like,
Sexual.
Yeah.
sexual. Sexual. Healing. Okay, so not that. Let's do a different thing.
So my
Twitter bios. Let's do education, education journalist. Okay, so education journalist. And I'll try different ones too if I'm actually doing this for a client. But what I'm looking for are influencers, especially like journalists, like reporters, those sorts of keywords, because they'll put it in their bio on Twitter. And now we have a great list of all these people. Pitchbox, and with Pitchbox it will build a database of these influencers, and you can set it to like have a minimum threshold of, let's say, Clout Score, that's KLOUT, or a minimum threshold of Moz rank or domain authority or whatever the metric is. We've got that list. So we put in keywords. Let's say education blog, education blogger, various keywords, and it's going to scrape the Google results. It's going to build a prospect list by scraping those websites, then looking for contact information. It will allow you to prioritize what order to contact those people. Let's say it finds 5 people at each company, at each website, and we don't want webmaster at, we want the, let's say, the marketing director or the person, the partnerships person or whatever as the first one. And if we don't get a response after, let's say, 10 days, we set the setting to 10 days or 14 days, it sends a follow-up email. We write all these emails. There's a template library we can base it on, and it just feels like you're getting a personal email from you to this company, to this blog or whatever, and try to add value first before you make an ask. So you're saying, well, hey, I write for HuffPo, I'm working on an article about X, and I would love to get a quote from you or to interview you. Can we sit down for a few minutes? That's a great way to make an initial contact and start the relationship, rather than saying, hey, I've got this great free report, I'd love for you to share it with your readers. Like, they're going to say F you, they're going to hit delete. Because they get those all the time. So you add value first, give and then get. So you're going to use a tool like Pitchbox that manages the whole process. It's got an SEO inbox, so you can keep this completely separate from your main email, because you don't want a ton of all these emails back and forth happening inside of your normal email account. It will track like through sales pipeline type reports like Salesforce.com has, but it's influencer outreach pipeline reports. So you don't lose track of who did they were going to do. So freaking cool. Try to do this by hand. It is painful. Totally use a tool like this. This is, I think, another massive tip, because you've got to outreach. You got to create the remarkable content, and then you got to outreach. Otherwise, nobody's going to discover it. Yeah, you're going to have a platform. You're going to start, contributing to whatever big sites that you can get on, Lifehack or whatever. But this is killer, because the influencers are your key to success. Are we good? We good?
I still don't understand how we get them. I know how to follow them.
No, that was follower one, just to follow them, or just to figure out who they are. This tool, here, let me show you.
So here's Andy. Andy's a wine guy. He's the top wine guy out there, but he wants to follow, and I know you know Robin Gar and those guys there, but he wants to get to like Robin Gar, who's a huge wine person, right? Because he's going to write an article, and he found the best wine in a box, and no one could ever believe it's that good. How would he wrote this article, how would he get Robin Gar to see this article and have Robin Gar quote something from the article.
Okay, so let me answer that in a second after I complete the loop on this concept, because I didn't know that Robin Gar even existed for him yet. I got to use the tool to build the prospect list based on high clout scores, high Moz rank scores, high domain authority, right? So I want big name people that are big in the eyes of Google.
Okay. So clout's still valid.
So he's probably a major influencer.
But clout's still a valid tool is what you're saying.
Well, clout is just one way to look at it. I'm much more interested in the Moz rank or domain authority scores, because that's actually in the eyes of Google. Important, authoritative in the eyes of Google. So now I got my prospect list using this tool. Now I'm going to do an outreach. But what am I going to come up with that's going to be a There are definitely wine influencers out there that you don't know. And they have the right stuff, but Google does. Google loves the site.
Yeah, but Google's wrong.
And Google can be wrong, but we still want a link from them. Right? So you could hate Halliburton, for example. Halliburton gets a lot of hate. Thank you for hating me, because it pops them up to the top of Google.
All your ex-girlfriends, right?
Right?
But Pitchbox does Pitchbox contact them?
It does the pitch.
That's what I thought.
You got to think about what's going to be this deadline and so forth, and it feels like, hey, this is a personal email. He or she handcrafted that in Gmail or in their email program, right? That's what you want the outcome to feel like to the recipient, but you're going to do this. We're sending a smallish number, maybe it's 100 or something, but they're to influencers, people who Google thinks are kick-ass.
And they're going to link to it? Is that the ultimate?
Ultimately, they're going to link to us, yes. But ideally, we don't even want to have to ask them for the link. They're going to be like, duh, of course I'm going to spread this far and wide. I'm going to shout it from the mountaintops. Like, if I had a much better, well-thought-out campaign idea, let's say that, so I worked with Namali Resort in Fiji, which is owned by Tony Robbins. I helped them with some SEO. I came up with this idea of a compilation ebook, a killer guide to, the killer destination wedding, like a wedding planner's guide to the killer destination wedding. And imagine using this tool to outreach to wedding planners all around the world who have high authority in Google. High domain authority, high Moz rank, high citation flow or trust flow, whatever the metric is you like. And so we're not wasting our time with all these really well-qualified, highly qualified wedding planners. I want That's what I care about. So I'm outreaching to these people and saying, hey, we'd love to get a contribution from you, X number of words, and, there'll be 100 or 200, whatever contributions. It's going to be a 200 or 300 page ebook with the, we'll put it on Kindle, we'll do this, that, and the other thing. They actually didn't end up doing it.
Because of cost?
Just there wasn't enough enthusiasm in the company to, you need a point person, you need a champion inside the company. Otherwise, this stuff doesn't see its way through.
Finish that thought. So you send them an invitation to put their quote in your article.
Yeah.
How do you get them to put your stuff on their site?
Well, if they have
What's the
a
next
quote
step?
in an article, who doesn't want to have as seen in the Huffington Post on their website?
Right.
It's like, hello, yeah, that's awesome. So you could outreach to them after the fact and say, hey, the article's live, here's the link. It was a real pleasure, working with you.
They have to post the link back.
But give them the link,
Right.
because they're not going to think to keep checking
Yeah.
for when the article's live.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to ask for the link, probably. But let's say you got on somebody's podcast, or no, let's say that you have a podcast, I have a podcast, 2 of them, and some people didn't like shout it from the rooftops that they were on my podcast. That's fine. Eventually, I'll go back to them and I'll say, and of course, after it publishes, I send them an email and everything. I send them a sample tweet that they could use, and then or tweak or whatever. But if 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months go by and they still haven't like posted it to their media page on their blog or website, I can outreach to them and say, hey, just wanted to let you know that you might want to include our interview on your media page because my podcast is kind of a big deal. I've had Dave Asprey on, Jay Abraham, and blah blah blah. All these #1 New York Times bestsellers. So then, if they have already listed some podcasts on their media page, of course they're going to want to add mine as well with that just gentle reminder. But you got to craft this in a way that doesn't feel like, hey, I just want the link.
Got it.
All right, guys. So was that?
Hey, just to let you know, this is $95 a month if you pay annually. Is there a way to do a community one on this, or is this?
Yeah, I know the guys. I could ask.
If anyone's interested, what I'd love for you to do first, you said you're going to put some.
Oh yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Check this out. Oh, and this is another screen from Pitchbox. You can even like blogger outreach campaigns. You can even outreach to get links removed if you got spammy links pointing to your site. But here's the gift. Where is it?
These are fun transitions.
Yeah.
By the way,
here it is.
my wife has actually read this whole book. Yeah.
It's a badass book.
It really is.
If you don't want to read on like Kindle or something, you want to actually read the paperback book, I do have some copies in the car. I can't just give a bunch of them away because they're expensive.
Yeah, how much
the
is
retail value is $50. It's a $50 retail. You can get it on Amazon for $38. But I'll sell them to you guys if you want paperback for my author discount, which is $25. I've got probably 20
It used to
in
be
the car.
green, right? It's now
Oh, that's the new edition.
This is the new edition. You don't want to read the green one because the green one's out of date.
out of date.
Can we go back
By
to
the time
what
you get
Ken
about
was
a third of the
talking
way
about?
in, the
You
new
had a
one's
question
issued.
from another guy who said you should talk about the...
Yeah, the Google modification that happened last week.
Oh, okay. So
Gregory Markle.
basically, the idea here is that if you are not mobile optimal, you're screwed. Okay, so
Should've
there are
started with
more
that
searches
at the very
happening.
beginning.
What's that? Yeah, from the very beginning, you should have been. So there are 3 types of like mobile sites: responsive, so responsive design. That's the best way. That's the Google recommended. There's dynamic serving, where the URLs don't change, but the content changes, the HTML changes depending on your device that you're connecting with as a user. And the third type is a separate mobile site. Who has a separate mobile site, like mobile dot or m dot or a dot mobi or something like that? Okay, so
They're
nobody.
ranking?
Thank
Is it
goodness,
good?
because those suck. Those are going to be really bad for you. And then you got to worry about like AMP, accelerated mobile pages. There's a mobile friendly test you got to put your site through. You got to check your page speed using Page Speed Insights, which is a free tool. Am I blowing your guys'?
No, but you gotta specify if you're using the new CMS platforms, either from Joomla or WordPress or Drupal or whatever. The new ones automatically do dynamic serve-ups, right? They automatically dynamically go to mobile.
Most of them are responsive.
No, most of them are responsive,
Responsive.
but it depends on the theme. You have to pick the right
Ah,
WordPress
okay.
theme that is responsive. If you picked some old one,
Old ones, so
or
something new is
yeah.
responsive, right?
I can help people with.
Oh, I know you can, and I'll bring it
But
back.
let me finish this concept here on mobile and then the announcement. So this is a tool that you all need to know. It's free. It's called Page Speed Insights. There's another free tool called the Mobile Friendly Test. This is available inside of Google Search Console as well, but even if you don't have your Search Console set up,
What was the second one? Mobile friendly?
Mobile Friendly Test. So you're going to put in your website. Can I get a different volunteer?
$1,000,000collar.com.
$1,000,000collar.com. And we'll also do the page speed insights. Now I've got the rainbow.
That's your computer, not my site, right?
What's that?
So that was your computer going slow, not mine.
Yeah, that's my computer console. But that doesn't affect these results because it's using the Google servers. So the mobile using dynamic surveying, and is it going to be a good experience for mobile user? If it's not, if it doesn't pass this test, you're going to suck in the Google mobile search results. Okay.
Does this take into consideration any of the proxy or cache engines that, like, you could do a WordPress proxy engine or something?
That's a technical nuance. Let's save for after.
Okay.
I'm so over time here.
Sorry.
So this is the Page Speed Insights tool, and we'll put in $1 Million Collar on here as well.
I passed.
You passed. That's awesome. But it's an easy way to, it's easy to pass that test. This one not as much, especially on mobile. They're a lot harder on you
Yeah,
on mobile.
I got a couple maps.
I got so many freaking tabs open that it's rainbow wheeling me. So what it's going to check here is how fast and efficient your web pages are. It's not just server speed, right? But it's also client, like the JavaScript implementation and so forth that you've done. Is it taking a lot of time on the user's computer for your page to render? Because that's not going to be good.
So while you're doing this, I just want to bring this up. So last one with Shaheen, are you here?
He took off.
He did. So I think 10 people ended up working with Shaheen. Okay, on Amazon, 10 of you.
That's awesome.
How do we work with you? And what value can we in return? First, what's the cost for someone like that?
Okay, so the cost for someone like me, I charge $15,000 a month retainer. If you were to just work with me to do an audit, like I was going to walk you through the do-it-yourself audit, $35,000.
Good. Send us the links so we can do it ourselves.
Yeah. But I also have a training program that's like 9 or 10 hours long, where it'll walk you through exactly how to do your own self-audit, not just a PowerPoint, but actually I pull up each of the tools. I pull up Google Search Console and walk you through how to run all the different reports and things, how to run a crawl using Screaming Frog, which is free for up to 500 URLs. That's another great tool. It's like really great content. So that's 9 hours of training. That's $497.
Your wedding's in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Can you give us that as your wedding gift to you?
What?
That's my kid's logic, and it works on me every once in a while.
No. But thanks for asking.
I always tell my kids, you want to go to bed now or earlier? I don't want to go to bed earlier, I'll go to bed now. Okay. I just was trying that logic on you.
No. But I'm giving you guys a free copy of my book. Let me give you that now. What's that? You have to create an account on O'Reilly.com to download it, yeah.
But how much would it cost us to buy that? I'm being serious.
To buy
the 10 hours.
The 10 hours of recordings and training? You're killing me here. That $497 is that's the discount price.
Just asking. If that's what it is, it is. I'm okay with that.
Okay, $297.
Wow.
Keep asking.
No, $297. I think it's awesome. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so my computer just froze because I had so damn many tabs open and everything. So here's the URL to download the free book if you didn't already grab that URL. It's stephanspencer.com /free book. Hey, it's back.
No,
What's it called again, one more time?
God damn it. So Stephan Spencer, STEPHAN, SPENCER.com.
Send me everything and I'll send everything.
Yeah, sure.
You want to send me a bunch of links? I'll send all
Sure, so
hang on, guys. Or do you want the database? You want me to give you the links to everybody what's here?
I would love the database.
I'll give you that, and then you can send everything out to everyone, okay?
Okay.
That'd be great.
I'll send the deck, sure.
Yeah.
So everybody got a card, you got the podcast cards. do subscribe to my podcast. They are freaking awesome. It's amazing free content. And yeah.
And I want to help you. There is something called Tab Suspender. It is a Google Chrome thing puts up. It suspends any tabs after a minute, so you never have your computer slow. We use it all day long. It is unbelievable.
But what about Safari? Because I love Safari. Yeah.
Why do you use? Should we be using Chrome or Safari? Why do you use Safari over Chrome? Or
because I love Apple. I love Apple.
You love Apple?
I love Apple.
So even for you, who's someone who uses
I want to bequeath all my money to Apple.
So you give a Google product.
Yeah, I already
You don't use the Google product.
I do, but only for things that require require the Chrome a browser. Like for example, I used a tool called.
I really want to see this. Amazon Prime won't play on Safari.
What's that?
Amazon Prime won't play on
Safari. Yeah, a lot of things won't play in Safari. And you got Java that sits inside.
Search metrics when it finally loads is so mind-blowingly awesome. I have beta access to it. It's not live yet. It'll be live in January. It's a topic. It's topics, and then you can. No, I'm killing my
Safari.
Yeah, I'm killing Safari. Where? No, okay, there we go. Force quit. Goodbye, Safari.
There's a lot of backlash on the new Apple products. That MacBook Pro, they're saying it's just a mess.
I'd wait for the new.
I just bought the new MacBook.
Yeah, I would wait.
I mean, I'm not using it tonight.
I've seen on the blogs. It's the first time that they've really, like, guys have gone after Apple. They're saying it's just a mess.
Okay, here's the URL: StephanSpencer.com/freebook.
And I will send everyone that's here, so you'll send an email.
Keyword research tool ever. So you can create a new brief. Watch this. So I'm gonna give me a keyword.
Wine. Let's do wine.
Wine. Okay. So wine.
And where do we get this?
You'd have to talk to Search Metrics. I can make an intro to you so that you can hopefully get beta access, but it's like a private beta right now. I'm certainly happy to make that intro though. Check this out though. This is so
what does it cost?
Freaking cool. It's expensive. I don't know if they've even
like 10 grand a month or 100 grand?
No, not 10 grand a month.
Why are they better than the other the cheaper ones?
Well,
what are they doing differently? I've used the
I don't know.
cheaper ones a lot.
I have no idea. In different colors based on search volumes, but it's not just that, it could be based on seasonality. Look at that. So wine spectator
looks cool.
Competitiveness.
It looks pretty.
So the most competitive keywords here are topics are.
So click on wine cooler.
Click on wine cooler.
Wine cooler. Bartle and James, right?
Okay, so before I do that, let me just explain that the distance from my main topic is how unrelated the keyword is, or this topic is. So wine cooler is pretty different from wine. Would you agree? Yes. But wine enthusiast, not as much.
So red wine is almost the same as wine cooler, but that doesn't make any sense.
Well, what are we talking about? Almost the same.
Top right.
You're saying wine, red wine. Red wine is the same distance as wine cooler. And you're
red
saying
wine and white wine are similarly unrelated, but wine cooler is a bit farther. It is farther, but it's a completely different color if you look at the topic analysis. So the semantic associations. Look at this. Completely different color. It understands that this is so unrelated of a topic. Like this is so not wine, right? Whereas all these ones, like wine and spirits, wine spectator, wine enthusiast, total wine, yes, those are more topically, semantically related with each other.
But red wine and white wine isn't?
Red wine is different from white wine because they're different colors, right?
Yeah.
If you are into red wine, you may not be into white wine. They're different. And then if I want to go into like white wine and say, let's expand this topic. What's inside of white wine? Well, you got yeah, Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc and blah, blah, blah. But this tool already understands all that.
Wow.
Freaking cool. So I'm trying to figure out what am I going to write about. This is blowing out all these topics for me, and then I can add them to my topic list, and then I can write a post or an article about that thing. So let's add like best white wines. Let's select that. Let's do white wine brands. Let's select that as well. And let's do a dry. This is so cool. Oh, and by the way, you could also look at the search intent. Like, is it a navigational, informational, or transactional search? It will color it based on what type of search it is. And then sales funnel is where is it in the funnel? Is it at the consideration stage? Is it at the purchase stage, the retention stage? It color codes all these based on those things. Cool. So now I'm in the content editor. I can write my article about whatever, white wine, the best white wines of 2016 or whatever, and it scores it as I'm writing the content. So, Wine Spectator.
Wow.
It sucks. The best magazine for white wine.
So it's scoring how well this is going to be registered in searches.
World or something. I don't know. Right? So it's scoring in real time as I'm writing the article. Readability, content score, etc. But check this out.
That's fucking cool.
Watch this. So let's take a search for white wine. I'm going to find an article. Let's say that I finished my article, and it was I don't know. How about this one? White wine basics. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste this in. Let's pretend that I wrote this, and I want to see how well of a job I did with this. So I paste it in. Okay, it does the content analysis. It's doing its thing. It's look at that. All the green checks. Boom. I hit all these different keywords, which are not the same thing as topics. I added some topics and then there are keywords inside of topics. So it built a keyword list. It told me how many times I'm using each of those keywords, whether I'm in the green zone or still in the red zone for those. Maybe I'm over the top in the red zone. So red zone because I over-optimized, like I did for white wine with this. What's my content score? What's my word count? My readability? Boom. Wow. Isn't that, like, amazing?
Amazing.
So I love this tool. I love this tool.
Search metrics.
Yeah, it's search metrics. It's not out yet, but I can probably hook you up with a beta account. Just, you have my card, or give me your card and write on it search metrics, and I'll make an intro. They love me, and I'm sure they'll take good care of you. So Page Speed Insights, that's that free tool that crashed in my Safari browser. So
$1 million collar.
$1,000,000collar.com. So now it's analyzing. It's going to tell me for mobile and for desktop how it scores my site, your site, for page speed. Page speed is a signal that Google uses in its rankings algorithm, and it's, of course, more important for mobile because people are on bandwidth restricted accounts on their phones, so they're paying for all that usage. You are in the red zone for both mobile and desktop, and this is not a good score, 54 out of 100.
Yeah, we got a map that's kind of slow that we just
And it tells you what to do.
So this is what it looks like. It's mobile friendly. It's designed for mobile, but you have a bunch of issues, and this is only scratching the surface. You really need to bring in a page speed expert.
That's awesome.
You guys gotta be mobile first these days. Mobile first.
Yeah, so thank you for that reminder. So mobile first, that gets us to the original question. What is the freaking announcement? That mobile is the primary index of the future for Google. So if you are not mobile optimized from the ground up, you are going to suck in Google just across the board. The main index, the main database that Google is going to use is with their mobile crawler. And this is going to happen next year.
When we present designs to Google now, the first designs we present are on mobile device, and then we show the desktop.
Yeah.
Really? So mobile's first?
Desktop, and this is mobile first. Wow.
There's more searches happening on mobile devices on Google than on desktop, and that's never going back.
Zero is going to India in January, and the reason is because this is where the user base is.
That's outside the States.
It's outside the States.
Yeah.
And they're all mobile.
Yeah.
So how much responsibility do the platforms like WordPress and Google have to optimize versus your personal responsibility?
Well, it's your responsibility to optimize. When you have a website search engine friendly, like WordPress, or if you have an e-commerce site like Magento Commerce is Shopify, whatever. So whatever the platform is, it could be search engine friendly, but that's not search engine optimized. You got to put in the effort. You got to do all the keyword research. You got to I showed you that expensive tool, but there are a lot of free tools you can use. Like you can start with tools like Subel. Check this out. I know I'm so over time, but watch this. I'm going to start typing, like you're looking for baby names, watch this. I'm going to start typing in the word baby. Whoa. And it's pulling from Google, Bing, Yahoo, YouTube, Answers.com, Wikipedia, Amazon, all simultaneously.
Soovle?
What's the name?
SOOVLE.
SOOVLE.com. And this gives you opportunities to kind of brainstorm. So let's say that I'm a baby furniture manufacturer. I'm selling baby furniture online on my website. I want to think outside the box. Like, what can I create that's remarkable content? I'm thinking of going after keywords like baby furniture and bassinets and cribs. I need to think outside the box. And I didn't even think about baby names. I don't sell baby names, but look at this. Baby names is so far up the list on a lot of these search engines, it's like no-brainer. I need to create remarkable content around baby names.
But around mobile, viewability becomes an issue, right? Your titles have to be shorter. You can't have these really long titles.
Yep.
For your articles and your blogs.
So your titles, your title tags should be. This will blow your mind. If you look at, no, there's so many things that will blow your mind. Okay, so if you look at the eye tracking heat map for Google, you'll see people don't even read more than the first couple of words of your title tag. Look at this. No, here's what happens nowadays. Straight down. They're not even reading over here. Just straight down the page.
Crazy egg was that?
This was an eye tracking study done by iTools, and I forget who else. It was in partnership with an agency. So they looked at all these users, they were eye tracking them, and then showing the heat map of where they looked, and they just didn't read the whole thing. So let's say you're Zappos, like I worked with Zappos for multiple years, helping them with SEO. Let's say that you've got a really powerful value proposition. It's really compelling. Free shipping both ways. That's awesome. They have free shipping both ways. They put it at the end of the title tag. Nobody reads it. It's not there for for SEO because they want to put the important keywords at the beginning for SEO. This is for getting the click. So free shipping both ways. Nobody reads it.
Put it underneath that?
Well, you're going to have to put it closer up if you really want people to read it. But then you got to be much more tight with your keyword usage at the beginning because it's going to be way heavier at the beginning of the title tag than at the end. You know, I'm the best accounting software solution or accountant or whatever. You just screwed yourself over. You put the important keyword at the very end.
So let's go back now to the very, very beginning. You got your Mevo here. You've been Facebook Living this.
Yep.
There is no value in this video for SEO. One, it's inside.
Not
Facebook.
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Tell me how you would save this, and then you would write an external article saying these are the things I talked about at this event. That's what you would do.
No.
Okay.
Because it all. I am going to take that video that's saved on here. I'm going to upload it to the #2 search engine on the planet.
YouTube.
Well, in the US, YouTube. I'm going to optimize that video. I'm going to optimize the thumbnail. You can put graphics on it, whatever. Doesn't even have to be a frame from the video. So that's really important. The title. I'm going to do keyword research of what people on YouTube are searching for. How do I do that? I use a tool called Google Trends, which is free. Did you know that Google Trends, who's heard of Google Trends?
That's correct.
Who uses it? And who knew that you could do YouTube keyword research with Google Trends? Like 4 or 5 of you. Well, you heard from me, I think.
Maybe, but
yeah.
probably back when you were helping me with.
So this is really awesome. So let's say that I put in baby names into Google Trends, and I want to see if this is a popular search term on YouTube. I changed web search to YouTube search. People just don't even know that exists. Now, this on its own is not going to give me any real data. This is all relative. It's a percentage, and it just doesn't mean anything. I have to put in an additional keyword that I know the volume of in order to get some baseline. So let's pretend that I knew that baby furniture, what its search volume was or whatever. It's just going to suck in comparison to baby names, of course. Right? So this is how I'm going to get a sense for what people are doing on YouTube, typing in to YouTube search. So with this particular presentation, what I can do, there's a bunch of things. One is I can take the video, upload it to YouTube, create a campaign around that, and build up that particular video page. Right? So optimizing all these different elements is just part of that process. So like I did, instead of Huffington Post, I'll post it somewhere else where it doesn't get
SEO land or something like that.
Search engine land, right? I write for them every 2 months, so I could contribute an article there. I could, wherever, but I'm going to embed the YouTube video, and I'm going to write an article around it because I need that text so that I can rank in Google.
Got it.
And then I might also post to my blog another article or paraphrase or summarize my search engine land article because I don't want duplicate content. But I can repurpose this in so many different ways. It's just your choice what you do with it. It's not like, it's this huge to-do list. It's a get-to-do content resource that I can repurpose in different ways. Like, so Zappos, I was talking to them about a campaign they did that was really awesome. They got a Guinness World Record for the most simultaneous high fives. And then they did nothing else with it. So they were in this big stadium, they got everybody to